98.5 Sunshine FM. Derek Whittaker have a special guest with us right now. He's been in Perth. He's originally a WA boy, a Whopper graduate, and he's gone on to do movie stuff and army stuff, and now he's doing music stuff. My guest is Scott Brewer. How are you, man?
Pretty good yourself.
Nice to have you back in the Perth area.
Thank you.
You're based in where?
The Gold Coast,
Okay.
Queensland.
Why'd the transfer over there?
I originally left here. I was actually at Whopper studying ballet, and a friend of mine asked me to go down to, they had a TV show called Gladiators.
Yes.
And so
I remember that.
My friend Belinda said, come on down and just support us. So I went down there, and at the same time when I was doing ballet, I was doing gymnastics. And I went down there and somehow got roped into auditioning and started showing off. And next thing I know, I scored a spot on the show as one of the contestants. Ended up in Queensland, and since then I was doing like movies. Basically went straight into the movie industry as a stuntman.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah.
What's it like being a stuntman?
It's pretty cool. I used to do a lot of acrobatics. My specialty was acrobatics and fight choreography style stuff. So it was pretty cool. I mean, I've got to work on a few pretty decent movies. And
Which are? Come on.
Okay,
You did The Matrix?
Yeah, I did The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on Beastmaster. I doubled the main guy on there, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of his acrobatic stunts. Lost World, Raw, which I don't know if you ever probably might not have had it here. That had Heath Ledger in it. Basically, I pretty much all fell straight into the movie industry, so I was pretty lucky.
They're very lucky. I mean, how many years do some people try to strive to get into that one? You just kind of fell on your feet, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Showing off pays off now and again.
All right, so you're a bit of a show pony, and I mean, you're a rugged kind of guy. You started off with ballet, but that's no wussy thing, because, I mean, you got to be strong to do that.
You do. It was really funny because a lot of my friends, they used to pay out on me about doing ballet, but when you do gymnastics, they sort of like go hand in hand. And when I actually went into the army as well, and I didn't tell anyone that I did ballet in there.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
And it was quite funny because one of my friends said to me once, I was out on the dance floor and I started dancing around, and then I decided when I left the army to go back to where I went to Whopper, and it was good. Like it's been I think it's all been everything. They say you do all different talents till you figure out actually what you want to do. Mm-hmm. So, but it's funny how something I did 20 years ago has helped me like a year ago. Mm-hmm. So they all go hand in hand. It's good.
Is there any one that you've enjoyed more than the other?
Music.
Okay. So you think you're hitting your niche now?
Oh, definitely. Now. Yeah, music's. Yeah, the biggest thing was when I used to say, people would look at what I would do because I'd swap and change between things. It wasn't that I would swap and change because I guess I was still trying to find myself,
right,
and find what I wanted to do. Music's the first thing that it's helped me open up emotionally. It's helped me. It's just broken down so many barriers for me, and the one thing is it makes me happy. I mean, I can sit there, be so frustrated with life and everything going on, and I just sit down and pick up my guitar or have a bit of a bash on the piano, and it's like this wave of de-stress. It just sort of like comes over you. So
get it out of your system.
Oh, it does, definitely, especially after being in the army for so many years.
Well, I would imagine. I mean, when did the army fall in? You were doing ballet. You got the gladiators thing. How did you fit the army?
I actually joined the army when I was 17.
Right.
I was one of these troubled youths at school. I was the kid that the teachers used to go, "Oh, you'll never do anything."
Yep.
And but it was basically what happened was I was at school. I was bored. I think I spent in year 11. I probably spent more time surfing than going to school, and I ended up, my brother came home one day and said, as a joke, and he said, you should go join the army. So I went down there and they accepted me, and I went, well, that's pretty cool. It just happened to fall on my father's birthday, which was good for him. So he's thinking he's got the best birthday present out. So I took off, and so I basically stayed in the army till I was about 21, 22. I was a paratrooper with 3RAR over in the eastern states, and I basically got out of the army and then went back to. I started diving, and then to get back in because I was a bit too old to do gymnastics full on again. So I still did tumbling and all that, and I still train, but to compete, I saw diving at a pool and thought, oh, that's like gymnastics, but you land in soft water. So, and
just got to land right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I was one of those ones that poof, poof, poof. I used to smack out and go all these different sound effects. I used to, I learnt the hard way a lot of the time. You can sometimes be going down a road, and I could have finished my diploma, and part of me knew that maybe I was umming and ahhing about whether I would actually pursue a career as a professional dancer. And then when Gladiators came up, my actual ballet teacher, Lisette, actually turned around to me and said, do what you think, is right. And she sort of like said, well, an opportunity like this doesn't come up very often. And I definitely made the right decision. I mean, I took it, and basically from there I landed straight in the movie industry. And it's funny because some of my friends that stayed on and are doing what they're doing, they even years later they still have, to try and like on the work side of things. But I think it's not it's sort of like an opportunity industry, the film, music, the entertainment industry in general. If you see the opportunity and you've got to weigh it up, and I was restless, and I just went with the flow, and I was lucky it worked out. But it's still hard work too. Like a lot of people say to me, "Oh, you're so lucky." And I was like, "Yeah, I train 7 days a week. I do this." And
well, that's the whole thing about the whole entertainment industry. It looks very glamorous, but there's about 2% glamour to 98% hard work.
Yeah.
Would that be accurate?
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. You don't even realise, like, even I've spent a lot of time in Hollywood, and you don't even realise, like, the actors over there that are struggling to. I've got a friend of mine, Hector. He's been on 24. Bruce Willis's movie Hostage. He's been in about probably most of the big TV shows that are on TV here, and he's still struggling. But he's making a good living out of it. But it's constant. He has to practice. He goes to auditions constantly, and you don't. It made me appreciate when I watch actors go for work. You sort of like over there, and you see all these actors, and you go, man, they actually train just as much as me. So it's the same with singers. Vocal coaches, like singers still get really, like Celine Dion, Shania Twain, all these singers that people see that are performing and making all this money, they still go to singing teachers. You've got to have somebody objective that sits there and says, you're doing this wrong.
It's a craft.
It is a craft.
So how would you describe your music?
What do they say it was? Bon Jovi meets Matchbox 20, Enrique and Neil Diamond. So it rolled into one. Because I sing in Spanish as well, so I sing in 2 languages. Speaking
to Scott Brewer, of course, keep an ear out for his music. He's done just about everything in life, really. Tell me this. Do you know how to be yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you do that?
How do I be me?
Who are you?
What you see is what you get.
Really? Because you've been telling me how you've been fitting into this whole, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Now, is that the up and coming? But have you come to a point where that was the up and coming, Scott. I think now, I know now, is pretty much, I've just learned that, you know what, at the end of the day, people are going to see who you are. You can have all the acts, you can put on this big facade about who you are, but at the end of the day, people are going to connect with your true self, and you can't keep up an act 24 hours a day. What would you say to young people who want to get into this entertainment industry?
Go for it.
Yeah.
If you truly, I was told once, my dad told me this, that it doesn't matter whether you want to be a brickage labourer, a rock star, a surfer, or if you do what you love and love what you do, the world will just open up to you. And I truly believe that. The music industry, you'll hear good and bad things. The best advice I can give is listen to what people have to say. Don't judge people on what people have to say. make up your own mind how they treat you, and just go with your gut feeling. That's the best thing you can do.
I wish you well, Scott Brewer.
Thank you very much.
98.5 Sunshine FM, Solid Rock.